Ladies, I am going to have a conversation with you today that I wish I knew before I started dating again after being in a 20-year marriage. Before I go any further, though, I would love to ask you to please share this with other women who are in the same season of life as we are and your daughters and your granddaughters, because this is a conversation that we didn't have in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. We were not raised to understand or how to navigate dating with intention for our safety, for our emotional well being, for us to honor the queen and covenant marriage as God designed it. We were not trained to understand what it means to walk in these words that I am already enough, I am worthy, I am lovable, and I am important. And I can walk in agency and I can walk in my identity. And it's okay for me to set a standard and not just accept what a man gives me, because that is what we were taught or what we assumed by what we saw. And dating in the modern world is way more fast paced and honestly more dangerous than it was 23 years ago because nobody prepared us for what it's like now. We have not been prepared for how quickly intimacy moves now, nor were we prepared for how easy it is to mistake attention for connection. So let's go back to the basics and truth so we can slow this all down. Number one, sex is not love. Number two, chemistry is not love. Number three, intensity is not love. And if we don't understand that at this stage of life, or when we are starting out dating as young women, it will cost us financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And not because we're naive, but because we were never taught how bonding actually works. We confuse bonding with love. We confuse adrenaline with connection. We confuse attachment with safety. We confuse someone making us laugh with compatibility. And when someone texts you all day, stays up all night talking, wants constant access to you, it can feel powerful. It can feel validating after years of a marriage or years of feeling invisible, unseen, unheard. That attention can feel like oxygen, but intensity is not evidence of their character. And bonding is a biological thing, but love is tested. And when you become physically intimate with someone, your body releases bonding chemicals. That is God's design. But that design without enough data for safe, clear discernment creates confusion and unhealthy soul ties. And that usually ends in our heartbreak. And that's not to shame us. That is our stewardship. Because Proverb tells us to guard our heart because everything flows from it. And that is not for us to walk in fear. It's for us to walk in wisdom that God gives us. Guarding our heart means we do not give access before we have observation. We do not hand someone emotional and physical intimacy before we've gotten to watch their character under pressure in different circumstances over time. And many of us were never taught that. We were never taught about our identity and our agency. We were taught to endure. We were taught to keep the relationship. We were taught to be chosen. We were taught that once a man picked us, we held on to that man. And we were not taught to collect data. We were not taught that dating is for information so that we could learn. So we bonded first and we evaluated later. And when bonding happens before discernment, confusion can feel like destiny. And now add in modern culture to that. Dating apps move fast. People expect instant closeness. And many men over 50 want immediate physical intimacy because they believe at this stage things should just be simple and convenient. But you're not a convenience. And we need to be sure, are they involved in pornography? We need to be sure who they are in all areas of their life. Why? Because you were created for covenant level relationships. You are a queen that deserves to have a healthy relationship in all ways. Because Song of Solomon says to us, do not awaken love until it is so desires. And that is timing language from God. That is order. That is how scripture acknowledges that love has a sequence. And if you're awakening bonding before you observe his patience, consistency, transparency, and self-control, you'll create attachment before safety. And attachment without safety creates internal chaos. And love is not someone consuming our time. Love is someone respecting your pace. Love is not constant contact. Love is consistent character. Love is sacrifice. Love is serving. Love does. Love doesn't take. Love completes you. Love doesn't destroy you. Love does not rush your body. Love honors your boundaries. And if a man collapses when you slow things down, he was never building love. He was building access. He was testing what you would tolerate. And Galatians tells us that the fruit of the Spirit is patience, kindness, self-control, and faithfulness. Chemistry does not produce fruit. His character does. So instead of asking, do I feel something? Ask yourself, do I see the fruit? Is he patient when I set a boundary? Is he steady when I say no? Is he transparent about his finances when it's appropriate to be asking about them? Is he willing to let 6 months pass while you observe his patterns? Dating over 50 must become about data collection. This is for everyone, every age, but specifically ladies after 50, because we don't have time to make up that time lost anymore. We don't have another 20 years to give to somebody. That's why dating has to be about collecting information, not emotional immersion. 6-month minimum of observation before we get deep bonding, before we allow anything that he talks about a future for us to build a hope in. We don't build a relationship on a future that he promises. We build a relationship on what he does and what we do together. That includes, you want to have a background check. That includes conversations about sexual health. That includes discussing pornography. That includes financial clarity. Those are not awkward questions to talk about when you are collecting data. Why? Because those are adult conversations when I am looking to build a relationship that's going to be for my fourth quarter. And we are not 22 anymore. We are slowing down. That this means I'm not playing a game with you. My heart is not a game, it's wisdom. This is why I created the inner healing journey method and why it matters. Because if our nervous system is hungry for validation, intensity will feel like love. And if your attachment wounds are unhealed, attention will feel like safety. If your identity is not anchored, chemistry will feel like destiny, and internal stability must come first. Redeeming your love is not about finding someone. That course is self-paced to help you break patterns so you never confuse bonding with love again. And you deserve something safe, steady. You deserve something that feels right. You deserve to know that this man honors your body and your spirit. You deserve to be told that you are enough, that you are worthy. You deserve to know that you're important. You deserve to be heard. You deserve for things to go at a pace that feels safe internally and with your wisdom, with clarity and truth. And that's why the inner healing journey method has to come first. Like I said, because if you are not internally stable, you will confuse so many things that happen in this fast-paced dating culture. So before you go, would you do me a favor and subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with another woman who would be blessed by the wisdom, clarity, and truth, who's walking in this season as well. And I want to just say thank you. Thank you for watching today. Thank you for being willing to have this conversation. God bless you, and I will see you next week with another video on redeeming your love, safe and sacred dating.